It has been more than a year now since 5-year-old Zachariah Canamore died after what police say was a long history of abuse at the hands of her own mother and her boyfriend. Today, Zachariah's mother, Michelle Canamore, was scheduled to be sentenced for murder and child abuse. Only the judge pushed that back 2 months. On your sides, Alex Osiris spoke with the little girl's grandmother about her new wait for justice.
Amory Doyle says that what happened in court today came as a complete surprise, but she's still expecting justice to be served.
It just hurt, look, because my granddaughter, she did not deserve to go this way.
The paternal grandmother of 5-year-old Zachariah Robinson was expecting to hear a sentence today. Zachariah's mother, Michelle Canamore, signed this plea deal back in November. Canamore waived her appearance today, but lawyers asked for 60 days before the sentence is imposed. Police say Canamore and her boyfriend, Jonte Harris, abused 5-year-old Zachariah to death back in October 2018. The homicide report details horrific conditions, including Harris admitting that he left the non-responsive child lying on the couch for 7 hours. Police say neither suspect called 911 until the following day. Medical examiners found signs of long-term physical abuse. The Department of Child and Family Services had been to Zachariah's home months before her death, finding that she was, quote, very healthy and talkative. No pattern of maltreatment was found, and the DCF case was later closed. The 5-year-old was one of 39 children killed in Duval County in 2018. Child advocate Kathy Swafford has helped hundreds of families through the loss of their children, including this situation, standing by as Amory Doyle clutched the impact statement she'd prepared to read Tuesday.
We will be after them. We will make sure that child gets justice and that family gets justice, because we will stop these child killings one way or another.
Jonte Harris is due in court on Thursday. Canamore's new sentencing hearing is expected on March 17th. Reporting from downtown, Alex Osiris, First Coast News, on your side.